Hello everybody, Big Beardy back again with another video, and today we're going to talk about how we can increase your workflow and get more jobs coming in, especially when you're in not so great areas and you're struggling a little bit. So we're going to talk, I've got 3 ways we can increase that. But before we do, please, if you enjoy my content, like, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't already, go check out my new channel, Big Beardy Food, link down below, card up above. Like, comment, and subscribe on that. Help the algorithm get people finding me, and I really appreciate that. I really would. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about how you can increase your workflow and get more jobs. This is going to be aimed more at people who are struggling to get the work in, even if you're on the courier exchange, who live in probably worse areas. But we're going to go through a few ways how it might benefit everyone. So first of all, the first way you can really increase your workflow is looking at your strategy. So I'm gonna set a little scene here. Let's say you live in Scotland, Wales, central Wales, up, in Scotland where there's not much work, Cornwall, the Cotswolds. A lot of that is little villages. It's not really an industrial area. Or like North Norfolk, you get above Norwich, there's nothing there. It's just beach. And you live in these areas, and you are struggling just to get that first job of the day. If you're not getting a job pop up every single day that you can jump on, then you're going to be struggling. I sort of work by the rule, I'm in Norwich, well, just outside Norwich. But I know every single day there's probably going to be between 3 and 5 jobs that will pop up between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. So I have quite a good chance of winning work. There is regular work popping on there, so I don't really count myself in one of these struggling areas. But I have a strategy, and my strategy is, because there's not an abundance of work, I'm going to grab the first job that I can that gets me out of Norfolk, gets me to those busy areas. Now, you might be in a situation where you're sitting there going, there's one job popping every morning, and I don't win it every time. And my strategy is get that job, get to a busy area like I do. That strategy doesn't necessarily work for everywhere, because you're relying on winning that one job that might pop up. And I am sort of talking about those really bleak areas where not much work pops at all. If your strategy is to win that one job that does pop, you are really handicapping yourself, and you are going to struggle. For instance, there is a strategy which I've spoken about before, which is literally getting those 50, 60 pound jobs, those minimum mile jobs, and just city hopping or staying within somewhere like Birmingham or Manchester, or, popping between Leeds and Bradford or wherever, Sheffield, that area. That doesn't work where I am, because there's not enough work, but in those areas there is. So I don't use that strategy. I use the strategy get out. But like I said, if you're in one of these really sort of quiet areas, using my strategy won't work for you. It's just not going to. Now, there are ways of making it work, and we'll talk about that in a minute actually. But you need to look at the strategy you're using. I had someone speak to me it was about 3 months ago actually, and he said, literally what I'm talking about now, he was in a very quiet area, and he was saying, I'm sitting here every morning trying to win that first job, but nothing's popping up. And I said, if you're going, how's it working? Are you being successful? And he's like, no. He won like 2 out of 5 every week, and the other 3, he was like, I just want to get on the road because there was no work. It's like, well, why do you keep doing the same strategy if it's not working? It's not going to magically change. Our industry, it's not about winning that one job. Sometimes it feels like it, trust me. Sometimes I just need that one job, that one right job, just to get me home or make that extra money. But it's about consistency. It's constantly winning work. You've got to constantly be winning work, or you'll go under. Simple as that. So, if you're in that situation, here is what I would do personally. Let's say I live up in Scotland. My Monday morning, this would be my strategy. Monday morning, I would either I'd get up ridiculously early, and I would either drive to Manchester or Edinburgh or Glasgow or somewhere like that, the nearest population centre which will have regular work, because then I can just get working. It would be better for me to take that hit in, driving those dead miles and getting regular work than sitting there waiting there, literally with my dick in my hand, not making any work, not making any money because I've got no work. I would drive to somewhere like Manchester, and that's it. I'd tramp for the rest of the week and then go home on a Friday. Because as soon as you're in that area where there's lots of work, you can keep winning work. If you're sitting in an area where there is no work, you're screwing yourself. Put it this way, you don't sell ice to the Inuits, do you? No, there's no demand for it. You sell ice to British people drunk on Spanish beaches. What I'm saying is, you've got to go where you're needed, where what you've got to offer will actually be utilised. And if you're in a place where, no one needs you, you're basically worthless. Soon as you go to a place where there's work, your value inherently increases exponentially. I think I used a word wrong there, but who cares? I said a lot of long words. I've been using my thesaurus, obviously. What I'm trying to say is you've got to come up with a strategy that's going to get you to a place where there's regular work. And I'll tie this into my third point in a minute, how you can actually do it without having to do those dead miles. But we'll talk about that more in a minute, like I said. So you're on the Courier Exchange or an app like that. You're in a quiet area. The first thing you should need to do is get to the place where there's work. That would be my advice. And that is something you need to do today. This is your quick fix. Right. Step number 2, which is your slightly longer term fix. You're still in this quiet area. And there is something about being in a quiet area, excuse me, that actually does have its benefits, because the likelihood of there is anyone else in that area doing what you do is extremely small. You are probably the only one within, if you're in the middle of nowhere, you're probably only courier or person with a van your size or whatever within 15 villages, It's just you. But that means you're the go-to guy. So what you need to do is broaden your horizons. Get yourself on Facebook. Get yourself on Gumtree. Set up you don't have to have a web page when you do this. You can do it without it. But it's not a bad idea to have one. It's not going to take away from your business. It will add to it. Especially if you're the only one in the area. Be the local dude who moves shit. You don't have to work for companies. You don't have to work on the Courier Exchange. You don't have to work on Shipley or Delivery app. But being on all of them will give you more opportunity. Get yourself your name out there in the local village. Put leaflets up. Knock door to door. Go to your local businesses that probably don't need couriers, but will probably spread the word for you. For instance, my local shop has a board. As you walk in, I live in a little village, a little board, and it has everyone's business card sitting there. And, it might only get you one customer a year, but it's one customer you wouldn't have had. So become the dude. Go to all your local shops, put your name on the little board, go into the local pubs, give them a few things, say, do you mind passing these out to people that might need them? Become part of the community, and then the community can feed into you. And that's just on the small basis. But like I said, get on Facebook, get on Gumtree, get on different apps. Make yourself bigger. Don't just rely on one source of getting work. That would be step 2. Step 3, and this is where we sort of tie it back into, getting out of the area you're in, especially quiet. And by the way, step 2 works for everyone. Don't just say, it's, I'm in a quiet area, that's what I need to do. You could live in a city, get your name out there. There's no point. Just broaden your horizons. That works for everyone. And so that's the same with this third step. Third thing I would do is what you want is that, like I said, that one job to get you out of your area or get you going on a Monday morning. So it's finding an end user, and one that is going to give you it. They only have to give you one job a week to make them valuable to you. I've got a friend of mine. He lives in Wales. He lives in deepest, darkest Wales, in the middle of the mountains nowhere, who does this job. And I was speaking to him, and he was really struggling. And what he did was he found a local company that needed something moving once a week. They didn't care when what moved. It just needed to go from Wales, and I believe it was Birmingham. It might have been Coventry where they needed the thing delivered to. But once a week, they didn't care if it was a Monday or a Friday. Didn't give a shit. It just needs moving once a week. It was a box, and he gave them a really good price. And every Monday morning, he would go in, he would pick it up, and he would drive to Birmingham or Coventry or us, drop it off. And that one trip changed his how everything worked for him. He was struggling because he would be sitting there, like I said, and we had a very similar conversation I'm having with you watching right now. He would sit there, wait for the work, and work just wasn't coming. He won that one customer who gave him that one job every Monday, boom, and then he's in the middle of the work. Then he's in the thick of it. Then he's in Birmingham and Coventry. Then he can go anywhere he wants, and there's loads of work coming in. That one end user changed his business and changed how he worked as a courier. He would pick it up Monday. Like I said, he charged him next to nothing. He charged them basically fuel. You know, he was like, I'll do it for you for 30 quid. I don't actually know how much he did it for, but you know, it literally, to get me from there to there, I'm actually making a little bit of money that covers my costs, and now I'm in the thick of it. So step 3, go and speak to all the big businesses near you. Go and try and get those end users that are going to get you from where you are to where you need to be. Because guess what? Most of the work, and you can see this when you're on the courier exchange or anywhere, look at where they end up. Jobs very rarely end up in the middle of a field in the Peak District. They usually end up in big cities or industrial areas because that's where they're needed. You know, the factory might be in the middle of nowhere, but where they end up will generally be places that are industrial hubs. Getting that one customer whose factory's in a field, where it ends up is more than likely going to be a good area for you. So go and speak to all the local businesses. And just by winning that one customer who says, every Tuesday morning, I've got a job for you. Every Tuesday, it's taking you to Manchester, it's taking you to London, can change how your business runs. And I say this a million times, getting those end users, building those relationships, building your business is going to help your business. So get out there, speak to people, and see if you can get that one customer that can change everything for you. Sitting where you are, not getting much work in, dick in your hand, fucking around, it's going to get you nowhere. Keep doing that same thing, and you will be doing that same thing until you go bust. If things aren't going right for you, and you've got to be honest with yourself, you've got to say to yourself, how are things going, you know, and you do know, we all know. I know when things aren't going right for me and I need to change things up. You feel it, you can feel it in your bank account. Every time you look in the bank account, it's not as much as it should be there. You know something's going wrong. Change it. And if you're sat there going, I'm not making as much money as I should be, change something. One good thing about not having work is you have plenty of opportunity to try and rustle up more work. When you're working hard, you're working hard. When you're not, and it's like, I've got no bloody work, go and make that work. Don't sit on your hands and wait for it, because it's not going to magically appear. You're sitting there thinking, oh, work will turn up at some point. Never will. Go and make it turn up. Make your own luck. Be the hero of your own story. Don't wait for it to fall on your lap, because it never will. And that's my three bits of advice. So if you're stuck at home and you're struggling to get work, first of all, get out there, get to a place where there is work. Second of all, broaden your horizons. Look at other places of bringing work in. Third of all, get yourself those end users who are local. They might only have one job a week for you, but that one job a week could change how your whole business works. I've been the Big Beardy One. You've been awesome. Please go check out my new channel, Big Beardy Food, and be safe out there. That isn't how I say it, isn't it? I've completely forgotten what I say at the end of my videos. Oh my God. I've been talking so long. Be safe out there. Fucking hell, Beardy, what's going on? Be safe out there. Have a great day. Literally, I need to stop drinking. Be safe out there, everyone. Have a great day.